Me, I am a memoir. I am a memoir. Going deep in the regular verse. Going to the regular regular.
Sup, Lamley? I don't want to be here, but we're here.
You do no want to be here.
Go home. Everyone go home. There's nothing to see here.
You're the prologue piece of shit. This is your...
the
Regularverse is your domain.
It is, but I think people have seen that even within the Regularverse, like, I have regular opinions.
You do.
And, but also probably not as prolo as some may have expected. There's been a lot more no's and aw's.
Yes.
Than,
and I'm a bit more prolo than I expected, which I'm still confused about. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. I think you might even enjoy a song or two in this last little batch. I don't know.
I might. Or I might find them tedious and at 3 minutes way too long.
Yeah. You'll probably what'll happen is you'll say, "Oh, I really like this part," but I'm a no. Because I couldn't get past that horn. There was a horn that I didn't like, so no.
I couldn't get past Jennifer sounding like she was at Aldi asking for a refund.
All right. Considering, this was meant to be the final episode of the Regularverse.
Before she remanifested the Regularverse.
And then she did. She actually brought it, inceptionized it. And
she heard us talking about her and thought this was going to turn into sales, and it hasn't.
Bless. So should we just dig in for what was meant to be the last but won't be?
No.
The last Regularverse. Okay. Let's do it.
Down low, on the down low. Okay. The low down on the down low,
That one? That one.
Getting the low down on the down low. All right, on to track 9. Baila Conmigo with Davey and Victor Cardenas. Baila Conmigo means dance with me. This is written by Jennifer Lopez, Kelly Paola, Ruiz Moncada, Servando Primera, Victor Alonso, Cardenas Ospina, and David Sanchez Gonzalez. Produced by David Sanchez, a.k.a. Davey, Luis Barrera Jr., Servando Primera, and Victor Cardenas.
God.
So all those.
Everyone really had a go.
They did. Well, there's a reason for that. We'll get into that in a second. By the way, this also was certified Latin Platinum.
Evan?
This was
racking up those platinums.
Number one. She's got herself a number one on the US Dance Club songs. 16 on the Hot Dance Electronic songs. 37 on Latin Airplay. Number 6 in Honduras. Number 19 in Venezuela. Number 28 with Mexico with Airplay. Now, this was a viral hit for Davey and Victor Cardenas. Just the horn and the dance production, no vocals. So she has slapped some vocals on top and just tried to surf the wave of popularity that this song already had.
This is the Danny Minogue special.
Yeah.
That's what she does. Which I'm not bad.
I'll just say put the needle on it a few times. Can I do? Yeah.
Dirty hands. That's it. I'm doing the dishes. All right, we'll deal with it. You know what? Like, I didn't know that going in. It's funny because the one thing that I found a little bit jarring was I thought the horns could have dropped out a couple of times when she was singing. Yeah. Because it was sort of clashing.
Because that was the song that it was.
Because that was the song, yeah. They could have maybe just gone, we'll just take that little bit out when you're singing. But no, she said, no, it's fine. I'll just do it like karaoke. Well, that kind of does make more sense because I thought this was quite fun. I thought this was like a really simple, fun bit of slice of pop, I said it was really light. Like it's not... that's what I said. There's a breeziness that I feel like has been missing in some of these more fun songs. They still feel a bit bogged down. But I was like, I think Jen actually went... oh, I don't have to be too serious on this. I can just kind of have fun with it. And I'm not trying too hard. And I think that's why it felt afterwards. I was like, oh, yeah, cool. That was fun. If that came on the dance floor on a, Sunday Sippers or something, I'd be like, this is fun. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
And I just
Sunday
wrote, I think that she was, just trying to make up for the original Baylor.
Oh,
if
that
you remember.
Was horrible.
Yeah. So we've got Baylor Conmigo. I'm like, thanks, Jen. You've retconned the original with a much better song. If not, maybe not the best song in the world, but certainly better than Baylor.
I said, oh, Jen's going to a rave. She sounds like she's singing it into her phone in the car. Like she's not really giving it any oomph. And it sounds like she may be at the drive-thru ordering some takeaway, but she's not returning anything, which is for the best.
The takeaway at Bunnings.
It is mercifully short as well.
It is.
After the horrors of our 7-minute opus that we had to deal with in the last song. I agree. Like, it just sounds like, oh yeah, I like this song. I'll make up some words to sing over the top of it. Yeah. Which is weird. So what percentage of the song do you think she's saying? High, mid, or low?
I've gone for a mid to high. I feel like it was mostly her. There were a couple of moments where I was like, it sounds a little lighter than Jen normally does, so maybe they've done a little bit of pitchiness. Yeah. But that could have been overall rather than fixing something. They might have just kind of gone, oh, yeah, let's give her a little something. But I think she was there. She had a little bit of the passion. But, yeah, I agree it wasn't as punchy, but I didn't mind that because it suited the instrumental. Like, it made sense that this would not be, overly hard-hitting.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I was high-low. Like, I just thought it was like, it sounded very... It sounded like her. Like, it didn't sound like she was making an effort, but it did sound like her.
Sure. She forgot to try that day. Oh, well.
And look, she's a busy woman. She's like, if she can manage to drop some vocals into her voice notes on her phone and email them off, then that's all she can manage.
She figured out how to attach that sucker. So good for her.
Oh, that's her assistant's job.
Yeah. Molly, I think.
Can you get that out of my phone and send it to the guys?
I'm imagining that she did hire Molly after
Mariah,
because she just saw on the resume worked with Mariah. Oh, I'll see her. Yeah. And that's why Mariah hired her in the first place. As a joke, as a cool trick to Jen.
I'm going to hire this incompetent girl and then trick Jennifer into hiring her as if she's good. Are you pro low or no low for your final score?
I've actually gone a pro low. This is my first pro low in a while.
Controversial.
Yeah, controversial. It's it's an easy one, but it's
I feel like the equilibrium is back because I found it too annoying and I went no.
Fair enough. You preferred the original Baylor.
No one prefers that.
That was your jam.
All right, on to track 10, Quizás, 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 which is an Andrea Bocelli song, Feet.
Yes.
Jennifer Lopez. Now, I know
Never thought I'd hear that in a sentence, but all right.
No. So we've almost hit 2020 with our J-Los, and now we've slipped all the way back to 2013. This was released in December 2013 as the only single from Andrea Bocelli's album Passione. It is a cover of the 1947 Bobby Capo hit, Quizás, Quizás, Quizás. That you might more memorably know as recorded by Doris Day as Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps in 1965, used in Strictly Ballroom.
See, I would say almost, except that I remember it as being recorded by Emma Bunton.
Emma Bunton, I see.
As a B-side to one of her solo albums. So.
Oh, bless you, Emma Bunton. Emma, Perhaps, Perhaps, Perhaps. It's from 1947. Emma Bunton, her finger right on the pulse there.
Pulse, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like us. She's old, and she's just heard about it.
That's true. And how did you feel about this bit of mess?
Oh my god. Okay, so obviously recognized the song immediately.
Yeah.
I said, look, it wasn't as jarring as one would expect for a song between the two of these voices.
Yes.
Equally famous in different directions. I said, I think Jen does try to lift to him a bit, and I think he tries to drop to her a bit. And I said it results in a respectable enough cover. I didn't cringe, but I also don't really know what the point was.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same. I like it's sweet, and I love that when Andrea belts, she goes coquettish, like she kind of pulls back and is like, no, I'll let you do that. And she only tries to keep up with him in the crescendo, and she does get a bit Karen, but it's not too much. Like it's nice enough.
Yes, yeah, could be.
Yeah, but you know the worst thing is it's not a great version of this song.
No, I didn't. When you've got so many versions of this song.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else was on the album with him, but I imagine he'd have some big names.
Yeah, some fairly big names from memory in this particular album. Let me look. I have it up here. Passione, the album.
Oh, a good Passione right now.
Oh, I'd love a Passione.
Oh, so good. or a Pasito. I don't discriminate.
I mean, he also did a song with Nelly Furtado on this album.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Jenny's the biggest name.
And September Mum, whoever that is. Some band, I guess.
I think that's my name on Grindr.
But no, it was, otherwise they were all solo songs. It's produced by David Foster, this album. And I think that's maybe one of the problems because he's great at a big bombastic ballad. Like he's a great producer of a big belty hit. And I wonder if this is too fast for him and too fast for Andrea Bocelli, but too slow for J-Lo.
Yeah, it could be.
Like they've managed to find the spot where none of them are going to do any good.
Yeah. And, I was pleased because I really expected my ears to be bleeding.
Yeah.
So, if this was an assignment, they would pass, but it probably you wouldn't be celebrated, They wouldn't be winning the award.
Yeah. I mean, look, she's no Nicole Scherzinger, but she's doing okay.
Yeah. Who is? I wish I was.
I know. So, what? I'm real. What percentage do you think she's saying? A high, mid, or low?
I went for a mid. I don't know why. Maybe I thought David helped her out here and there.
No, I went high because she did, stray into Karen occasionally, but she kind of. I feel like she was on her best behaviour.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice to see that she maybe had enough respect for the people she was working with to go, you know what, I know that you're really good and I'm not going to try and pretend that I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to Celine you Aretha,
Yes. She had respect.
She did.
She didn't play the games.
Games.
So, what score are you giving it? Pro, low, or no low?
I've gone for a light or. Mm-hmm. It's because, like I said, it's passable, but it's definitely not the version that I'd go to.
No,
yeah. Emma Bunton is still my number one.
But for her, it's fine, and I am equally. Oh, we're back. Yeah. What's happened?
I know.
Our equilibrium is returned.
It has. There's still time for it to get fucked up, don't worry.
Oh, yeah, we will. Probably in the very next song. All right, track 11 is Adrenalina with Wisin and Ricky Martin.
Yes.
Now, this was a Wisin song that featured Ricky Martin and Jennifer Lopez, and then Ricky re-released it as a Ricky Martin song featuring Wisin and Jennifer Lopez in Spanglish. That's a Spanglish version. So there's two versions.
Oh, I did not clock that. Okay.
Of this song. I know. Adrenalina obviously means adrenaline. It's written by Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, Juan Luis Morera, that's Wisin, Carlos Ortiz, Luis Enrique Ortiz Rivera, and Jose Torres. Produced by Chris Jade. It was released in February 2014, which is just before I Love Ya Puppy, around that era.
Yeah.
And it was an official World Cup Brazil song, but I think for a TV broadcaster, because there are two versions of the song, as I said, and in one of them there's a video that features a bunch of people who are clearly not playing football or soccer or the World Cup, but look like they're some of them are a little overweight, and I'm like,
they hired
this
us.
is the commentary team. I think they were maybe football players at one point. So yeah, I
don't think I came across that one.
You know when you see a bunch of TV presenters looking like they're human and trying to have fun, and they just look completely awkward and confused.
Gross, isn't it?
Yeah, it was one of those. So yeah, we both Wisin and Ricky Martin are Puerto Rican, so I don't know what they're doing, trying to flog Brazil World Cup, but good on them. This did have an impact, weirdly, on the Billboard Hot 100. It was Wisin's first appearance in the Hot 100. Oh, very exciting to be peaking at number 94. It was number one.
Number 94.
Number 94. It was number one on the Colombia Urbano and the Billboard US Latin Airplay charts. Number 3 in Bulgaria and Spain. Top 10 in Belgium and the Netherlands. It even got to 17 on the Billboard Hot Rap Song charts.
Okay,
of all things. Why not? I know. It's a big deal for everyone.
Because when I think Jen and Ricky, I think rap.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Oh, by the way, there's a video I forgot to mention.
Okay, so I'm going to do you a special one. So this is Fab Nopsis, ole, ole, ole. Because it's Ricky. And it's a song about the World Cup or something.
There's a car. Ricky in a shiny hoodie with no sleeves. Wisin in a big hoodie. A guy with dreadlocks is bashing a big tin and water's going everywhere. Jen looks wet. Was she too close to the drumming man? Some woman dances on a car and they're near Ricky, but he doesn't notice them. Then there's a party in a geodesic dome. Wisin does some rapping. Jen's in a corridor. Jen and Ricky dance in the corridor, pretending to be sexy for one another. Then Jen comes to the dome dance party, but she hasn't had time to dry her hair after a run-in with the drumming guy. Ricky is so pretty. Not sure what else happened here.
Yeah. What's with the Ricky being straight again all of a sudden? Like,
I don't know.
At this point, we didn't need to. He was married with kids to a man.
2014? Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah, easily. So,
yeah. They're just showing that they can both act. Like, he's showing he's an actor with some range and can pretend to be excited by a woman, even if it's J-Lo. And she's pretending she can be into a man that she knows has no interest in her whatsoever. Much like her current marriage.
And the 3 before that.
And all of their marriages. I said, Wisin is a whiny pitbull knockoff. Ricky's voice has never had much heft, so you think this would be J-Lo's time to shine, but no. She hides down the back of the track. It's mostly drumming and whistles, to be honest, and yelling Adrenalina at every opportunity. Yeah. It's fun, but it's not great. I mean, J-Lo did cheat on Ricky and Wisin a few months later on the Pitbull and Claudia Leitcher World Cup song We Are One, Ola, Ola. So
she did, yeah.
She's hedging her bet. She's like, I am going to be the face of this fucking World Cup if it kills me.
She's like, I need another Let's Get Loud, so I'm just going to do everything that has anything to do with soccer. Yeah. Look, I thought the production is a little flat. I said it was actually Jen's voice seemed to cut through the production better than Ricky's, and I'm not super across Ricky's discog except for the hits, in which he sounds very present and good. Yeah. So I think I expected more of him, and I think actually Jen might have done a slightly better job than him on his own song, which was interesting, because he sounded kind of lifeless, like a robot. And I was like, oh, okay.
And I think that's why it wasn't one of his songs to begin with, because he wasn't like he wasn't there much. Like
and it's not like she lifted it a whole lot, but in comparison, I was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of this was not the way I thought things would go.
The original is a lot more Wissen. Like, he's very loud and present from very early on, and the other two just sort of vaguely turn up. But this Spanglish version is Ricky, Ricky, and then a bit of Old Mate, and then Jen. But yeah, I don't feel like anyone did their best work here. Like, everyone feels like, we're just doing a cash-in job. We're just trying to get money from the soccer people. Let's not try too hard. And I'm Real. What percentage do you think she sang?
Well, I wrote high, so I guess it's high low.
See, I was mid-low. I felt like she was crushed a little bit. Like, she sounded a bit flat. The same as Ricky. I thought his voice
he was really flat. Oh, my God.
Like, super compressed. Yeah. Like, not just his own voice being a bit flat, but just kind of, like, flattened to
very
nothing.
Narrow.
Yeah. And are you pro-low or no-low?
This is, again, sort of like a light or maybe, in terms of, it's not awful. Like, I wasn't horrified, but I think it's probably the cusp of, instead of cusp of pro-low, it's the cusp of no-low. Which I don't think we've done before. But
I'm right in the no-low. Because it just felt so manufactured and fake and kind of trying to be something, as opposed to anyone actually really enjoying any part of it.
Which that Pitbull one that you mentioned before, with what's the other lady that you loved?
Oh yeah, Claudia Leite.
Like,
that
even
one
though that still felt a bit
commercial.
Like, it felt a bit it felt a little bit by the numbers, but it still sounded fun.
Like they'd all turned up to have fun, even though they were making this, kind of like cookie cutter piece of shit. Whereas this one, everyone's like, oh yeah, this is a cookie cutter piece of shit. I'll treat it with that reverence. And you're like, you gotta pretend you're having fun. The steel drum man's having a whale of a time.
He gets
the horn guys were having fun. Why have these three not brought their A game to the table? I don't understand. It's a team sport, guys. Come on. All right, on to track 12. Cambia El Paso with Raul Alejandro. I think his name is Raul, but he prefers to spell it with the W. But bless you, Raul.
Sure.
Cambia El Paso means change the step. That's the That's the translation.
That kind of makes sense in terms of the production. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is written by Jennifer Lopez. Why is her name first in all these lists? Someone called Reggie El Autentico, which sounds like regular, not authentic. Reggie El Autentico, Georgia Koo, Andreas Castro, Jonas Jöström, Victor Thel, Mr. Naisagi, Caleb Calloway, and Raul Alejandro. And the producers were Jonas Jöström and Victor Thel. So it's got that weird, possibly Swedish, possibly South American vibe. It was released in July 2021. It had a little bit of success. It was number 6 in Puerto Rico, 7 in Panama, 8 in Guatemala, 10 in the Dominican Republic, 16 in Paraguay and El Salvador, number 39 in the Billboard Latin Airplay charts, number 42 in Canada digital song sales, and hit the heights of number 98 in Spain.
Heaven. Spain,
and there's a video.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I'll go back to Fantasies.
Jen has big hair and she's on the beach. Then she's leaving a lift and arguing with a man who tries to grab her. She drinks tequila straight from the bottle. She does a dance that definitely got sand in her clunge. She yells at that man again and throws him the finger. Raul Alejandro is waiting for her. She dances in the street. Oh, she's got that bottle again. Must be product placement. Raul has bought all the vocal equipment and dances in his pajamas and shiny jacket. Jen gets more sand in her bizzo and then she gets in the pool, obviously to wash it out again. Raul does some energetic dancing. The end. No, really. I had some concern about a clunge.
No. Poor Jen Clunge. I'm sure she keeps it tidy. I'm
sure she does.
She's got people.
Well, that's why she got in the pool at the end to wash the sand out.
She's got a whole team for this. That's
yes, she would have a whole. She would have a plunge.
Instead of a plunge pool, it's a plunge pool. Yeah.
Plunge pool. She would have an entire team for desanding her plunge.
Absolutely.
You need to exfoliate for poor Ben.
Yeah. God. This is messed up.
What is this show?
Nobody knows. It's Clunge Chat.
Oh my God. How do you feel about this, whatever this is?
This might be a shocking turn of events in that I really liked this song.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really nice vibe. I thought it had a nice mix of Spanish gen, old hits gen, and not trying too hard gen. I was like, okay. So I like the feature enough, but the first time in a while, I don't know if she needed it. I think you could chop this to a 3-minute solo track and it would be just as good, if not better. And I said I weirdly liked it more as it went on, which is rare considering it didn't really change up much. But I think it shows that decent production, a simple, clever hook, and a relaxed, sexy gen vocal is sometimes all you need to make a fun pop song.
Oh, I had a very different view.
Did you? You're like, hey, this is the worst I've ever heard. This is Bailiff Part 2.
I liked this. And then I listened to it a couple more times and it annoyed me. Okay. But I did like it on first listen. Yeah. I was like, oh, fun.
Sure.
But the ooh-ah started to get really tiresome really quickly.
Okay, sure.
Also, I don't think their vocal styles mesh in even the slightest way. Like they...
As in the other person? Rao, yeah.
Yes, Rao.
Yeah, I kind of was like, he doesn't need to be here.
They sound like they're making different songs, completely different songs, and they've been pasted together in a hurry. And it's like, why does he have so much processing on her voice that she doesn't have enough? Like, like it's just, it just sounded like two completely different songs. Like they'd both recorded the song, and someone's gone, we're going to release the Gen version. We'll just put a bit of you at the end, even though your version is completely different. But
it's about something else.
It was just... I don't know. It just felt too discordant down at the end. But yeah, like you say, I really liked it the first time I heard it. First couple of times, I was like, oh yeah, this is a good one. I can't believe I finally got one. And then, when you're doing a Fabnopsis, you have to actually watch it a few times. You're like, yeah, no, I'm done with you.
Because see, one thing that I probably haven't ever mentioned is sometimes if I almost like a song, but I think one thing could change, I just edit it myself. Like, there is a Rogue Traders track called Fashion, and it's too slow. And I sped it up and pitched it up and chopped off the intro. And now it's great. And we have a song coming up at some point in this list that I think could do with a heavy chop. And I'm like, there's just things where I go, oh, I really like that bit, and I'd like to hear that again. I don't need that other bit. So maybe I can have a play and just chop this down. Yeah. And be like, now I love it. Because Rao's gone. Bye, Rao.
Bye, Rao. So what percentage of the song do you think she sang in the I'm Real stakes?
I've gone for a mid to high. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in there. I feel like it's mostly her help.
Yeah, I think high-low. I mean, the help is minimal, especially given how much help he has.
Yes, I know.
I'm like, so I feel like we have to give her high by default.
Yes,
because
someone else has more help.
Yeah, he's barely turned up.
Which I feel like that's kind of happened in this set of songs, like that one that had 6 people and went for 10 minutes. Yeah. Again, she was probably more among the more natural. Vocal. Yeah, I think so too. I'm definitely for some of the lack of maybe great songs. Yeah, she's turned up a hell of a lot more in this latter half.
That's always been her problem, is not reading the room.
Yeah,
she doesn't turn up for a great song, and then she really turns up for the shittest songs. And you're like, what is your problem? When she tries something interesting, you're like, this is not the song for that.
Yes,
and then songs
you're like,
this is where you could turn up and make it a good song, and instead you've just sort of moaned through the whole thing. It's her all over. So are you Prolo or Nolo? Your final score?
I went for a Prolo.
A Prolo.
Controversial.
I'm a Nolo. I was.
You went from pro to.
I was never pro. I was or at the best of times. But yeah, it just drove me too crazy too quickly. And then he kept turning up. Like, I couldn't enjoy him. He annoyed me.
Yeah.
So we have reached the end of our constructed album.
Ooh.
But it means that's our 12 tracks. It means we still have some bonus tracks on the available only at Target version.
Yes, yep.
Which is a thing.
Gotta have incentive. Japanese bonus tracks and all.
Yeah, you gotta have them. So track 13 is Miami.
Yes.
This is from Wisin and Yandel album. Produced by the legendaries Kelly and the Dandy. I don't know who wrote it because I can't read Spanish. But so it's like it was a
You
lot
didn't
of
learn
digging.
just for this?
I could. But I'm presuming it's Wisin and Yandel who had the writing.
Let's say.
Sure. So this was released in December 2022 as the 8th single.
Damn.
From Wisin and Yandel album called The Last Mission. And it was a bonus track on that album to begin with.
Oh, okay. There you go.
There's no video, thankfully. I found it a bit tedious.
Do you know... I got Real Justice Crew vibes from this.
Yes.
And they're very much that brand of like, I know I should hate this, but for some reason, I don't hate it. It's like, this is really bad, but I know it. Like Katy Perry's Raw.
Yes.
I've never actually chosen to listen to that song, but I could probably sing it back to front because you just hear it.
The finale of And Juliet.
Exactly. And so that beat and the Miami and all the robot singing is it's in there. And I was like, how can I hate it even though I know it's bad when I'm having so much fun? And that's how I feel about Justice Crew.
Yeah, having fun is something, there's a lot in it. I got tired of Wisin and Yandel yelling their own names and J-Lo's.
Yeah.
In case we thought it was some other song, we weren't sure whose.
We forgot. Oh no!
I don't think it's awful. Like, I found it tedious, but I think it's fine. But it's just nothing amazing. Like, if that makes sense. Like, Also, if it's your 8th single off an album, you're like, oh, there must have been so much better shit than this.
I think as well. Like, I didn't listen to this kind of stuff when it was everywhere. So it doesn't annoy me as it probably would most people who maybe lived through it, like, because you would have been doing radio still probably around.
No, this is December 2022.
Sorry, not when this one came out, but this sound was still kind of 2010s. Yeah. So I'm not as, but I still got that Kesha kind of thing to it. But I don't get as bothered by it because I didn't hear it 24/7 because I just was still listening to Britney
every day.
Yeah, exactly. So there's I'm not triggered. I kind of go, this is dumb. I'm having fun. Yeah.
I mean, it is. Yeah, it's enjoyable as a vibe, but I just don't think it's executed that well.
Yeah, sure.
It's just it's fine.
This is what I said. This is the kind of song I'll deny knowing, but enjoy it alone in the car. That's where we're sitting.
I don't know her.
Yeah, I don't know her. I'm in the car. Miami.
I don't know.
Don't tell anyone. It'd be so funny if this is.
Oh no!
Yeah, this is. Yeah, that's. Can you imagine if that's what Mariah does when she's on her own? She secretly has a Gen playlist that she's put together based on our promos. Yeah. Or she just listens to Baila and laughs for an hour.
Or she makes up her own lyrics to Jenny from the Block. Jenny's got a big wet sock.
If you know, you know. Orange drink.
You know. Fanny like a big wet sock. Oh, Jenny from the Block.
Oh no.
Sand in a dungeon.
Or she's like, I'll just like she tries to sing everything in Jen's slightly off key.
Oh my
like,
God!
brand. Like, she's like, listen to this. I'm going to sing it like she does.
If
you had my love.
You really do sound like you're asking to return something at Bunnings.
yeah. Oh no.
All right. So, what percentage do you think she sang of Miami with Wisin and Yandel?
It's sort of, look, I went from mid. It's probably a little low to mid because there's lots of tuning, but it is intentional.
Yes.
So, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I was mid as well. It's around the middle somewhere. And I'm sure it's going to be no surprise to you that I was a no-low. How are you on the score? Yeah. Pro-low or no-low?
I think for fun, I'm on the cusp of pro. Right. But for actual song quality, I still think I have to be not all the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're an or.
Yeah.
Or no.
Sure. Whatever you write down, that's what I
Or.
You'll just edit me saying no somewhere else, wherever you don't like
I'm
the
just
song.
Paste it in from later, yeah. I just paste you in saying no to all of them.
Yeah. I love this one. Are you pro or no?
Oh.
No.
No. As if I have that much time on my hands to do any editing.
Yeah.
You've heard this podcast. It suddenly just jumps. Oh, why are they? All right. Track 14. Speaking of jumps.
Yeah.
Track 14, Sexy Body, which is a Pitbull song, feat. Jennifer Lopez, from Pitbull's 2017 album, Climate Change. Not released, this song. It's just an album track. The songwriters are Armando Cristian Perez, you know who, Jennifer Lopez, Jerome Price, Luke Khalija, Michael Maeda, Al Sherrod Lambert, Karen Chin, Anthony Kelly, Cherry Williams, Joey Washington, Dwayne Richardson, Derek Jenkins, Cassio
Kerry Washington.
Yep, different. And the producers of Maeda, Chronic, Price, and DJ White Shadow. It's a lot of people to be involved in a Pitbull song.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
There's no video, is there, for this one? No?
There's no video. Just tell me how you felt about Sexy Body.
So going into this one, I'm thinking, oh God, this is a Pitbull album track. We might be in some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, I think out of all of the songs on this entire list, this is the one that got stuck in my head. Yeah. I was singing, "Spitty sexy body" all the time. I was like, has Jen become a secret mid-90s shout over a Euro dance beat diva? Like, it had that kind of, like, it sounded like a sample.
There's a reason.
Like, oh, right. Okay. There we go. That might make sense. I said, I know it's bad, but again, like Miami, I'm having such a good time. And the way Jen sounds like a sample is actually great. I said, oh God, do I like a Pitbull song?
I said, I'd prefer it with.
I said, I'd prefer it without him. But still, I'm kind of surprised that this wasn't a hit, considering that Timber was.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, it is a fairly ordinary Pitbull performance, but Jen is doing fun mid-90s throwback. She is actually singing a cover of a 1998 song by Sasha, and she is not straying far from the guide vocal, I can tell you.
Because she knows how to do
listen to it. Yeah, she's very good at that. Pitbull and Jen sound like they aren't meshing on this track like they have been in the past. Like, I like the harmonizing she's doing down the end. I'd probably like this song if it didn't have Pitbull.
Yes, I don't want him on it either.
Yeah. But it is on his album, so it's like we're trapped there.
Yeah.
I don't like the instrument at the end that sounds like one of those dribbly keyboards you blow into. At the end it sounds like you know, what's that thing? Goes to the melodeon, you know that thing?
Yeah. The marimba. No, it's not a marimba. I just wanted to remind everyone of that.
Dribbly keyboard. But yeah, like it's that song, by the way, the Sexy Body song that she's covering was not a hit until like 2005. Like, it came out in 98. Okay. No one heard from it, and then it kind of wasn't even much of a hit. It was like had some impact and then disappeared again altogether. But yeah, she is really. Like, she sounds like a sample because she's doing a sample.
yeah. Which was fun.
It was great.
Like,
it's almost like they've gone, oh, this girl won't let us have the rights to her voice. Do you want to come in and do it? She's like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then it can be feet.
Yeah, she does. Yes.
So what percentage do you think she sang?
I've gone for a mid-low because I think she's given it a good crack. But like you said, it felt that there's a little something on it. And then the sampley vibe makes sense that maybe it wasn't her initial... She didn't make any choices here.
She made no choices. I've gone for low. I'm just like, she's tracing a drawing in this instance. She's done her own colouring in around the end.
Yes, yeah.
But she did the tracing. She's traced the fuck out of this drawing. And are you pro low or no low?
Well, now I'm questioning it because I'm very pro low that chorus.
Yeah,
I'm not so pro low Pitbull. He's not bad, but
he's not terrible. But it is his album.
Now I'm curious whether I'm just pro the original song, so I might have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, look, I went fully awe because I was like, I'm so into whatever she's doing, even though I know it's a rip-off, but I loved it. Like, it was fun, it was silly, she was having a good time. In 2017, like, it was when she was starting to sing. Like, maybe it is. Yeah. Maybe she's having a crack. So,
it's interesting.
I went fully awe. Fully
amazing.
awe.
It's your favourite song.
I know. Of all time.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, we're up to track 15, which is a song called Physical from Enrique Iglesias' 2014 album Sex and Love. It's Enrique feat. J-Lo. It's written by Enrique, Tion, TC Max, Sandy V, and Paucar. Produced by Sandy V. Enrique released 8... Not Sandra Bullock. Sandy V. B. V for Sandy Clunge. Sandy V is Jennifer Lopez's pen name from her Sandy vagina. So he released 8 singles from this album, from this Sex and Love album, but not this. It was, in fact, not even on the main album, believe it or not.
Oh, another bonus?
A bonus track from the Target version.
Perfect. That's why we're here.
She's not alone. There's a Kylie duet on one of the bonus tracks.
Oh yeah, that was on hers as well.
Yeah, she had a go at that. So yes, it is so boring.
Oh my god,
it's so boring. Neither of them sound like they're into it. I would probably prefer this if it was Jesse McCartney and Selena Gomez at this point.
There's still time.
That would have been big in 2014, wouldn't they? I don't even know when they were big.
I'm going to say she was probably 2014. He was probably 2004, but
yeah,
it's fine.
It also goes for way
Jesse
too long.
McCartney.
Like we get it. Like they could have jumped out at 2:30 and saved us half a minute. Like it just keeps going, and it's not interesting. I have met him, so.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I went to his concert.
Was he hot?
He was very hot and doing some really strange vocal warm-ups while I was trying to talk to him. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like,
which is really interesting because I feel like the internet has recently... Is he?
Yeah.
Well, it's like finding out that Ricky Martin's real name is also Enrique. Enrique?
Yeah.
Enrique. Yeah.
Enrique,
I got very confused. I think the internet has recently discovered, I don't know if you saw this, that Enrique is the male Jen.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of, he sang some vocals at a concert and everyone lost their minds because they were like, oh, that's what he sounds like.
Oh, mate. The warm-ups were entirely performative because I was in the room.
Yeah.
It was...
got this puff in here. I better press him. Right. Yeah.
What are you doing?
That
was when he had to... Yeah, show us your pecs.
I was going to say, just show us the juicy cock and let's get on with this. But You know.
Like I interviewed him in the middle of "Turn Off the Lights" or whatever that song was called.
Oh God, no.
Remember that song?
The only one I know and like is the one with Khalees.
Oh yes,
that was fun.
He also is, the singer of many a creepy stalker vibe. You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love.
Yeah, it's on my God.
Anyway, how did you feel about this boring piece of shit? Sorry.
Yeah, you're correct.
Didn't mean to influence you at all.
I basically wrote, since discovering all that, I said, I don't know how to feel about him at all, but I said, even more than that, she's out singing him on his own song. Because at least she sounds like Jennifer Lopez. He sounds like an actual machine.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly generic 2014 pop song that I never need to hear again.
So dull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and what percentage do you think she contributed to the proceedings? Mid-low, high-low, low-low?
I went for mid-low. I thought, because she's showing up a hell of a lot more than he is.
Yes.
So again, by comparison, you have to give her the mid because he's got the low.
Yes. Yeah, I was the same, mid-low. And I have gone capital N, capital O, L-O.
Yeah, me too. We're back.
Yeah. The fact that I was imagining Jesse McCartney is probably not a great idea. I don't know where Jesse McCartney came from. I was like, who would sing something this dull?
Jesse, he's the whitest person in the world. Jesse McCartney.
All right, we're up to our final track, which is number 16. It's called Drinks for You, in brackets, Ladies Anthem. This is, again, a Pitbull song. This is from his 2012 album, Global Warming, written by Armando C. Perez. Jennifer Lopez, Daniel Wooders, Urales Vargas, Monica Rustgi, produced by DJ Class and DJ Buddha. Busy. Busy DJs.
Okay.
How do you feel about Drinks for You?
This has been an adventure. This song on its own is an adventure. I heard the name and I thought, this is going to be the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Because bracket, Ladies Anthem, close bracket. Ooh.
Pitbull's just going to be shouting, "I'm Mr. Worldwide, come and get on my lap."
I said Pitbull is pitbulling. There's not much more to add about him, but I'm weirdly surprised by this sort of relaxed cafe vibe. Yes. It verges a little bit into elevator music, but
it does.
I thought it's different, and I haven't heard this from Jen, so I didn't actually hate her bits, but I think there's not enough for a full song. I think if this was like a little outro on an album, this like that fades off. It's an interlude, darling.
This is
that
like
could be really cute.
The rainbow interlude or the butterfly.
Yes. So that's what I was saying about having something that I'm like, I could edit this down as a little interlude between Jen songs. So I said I don't think that's enough for a full song, but as a little outro, I wouldn't be mad. I just appreciated that once again. One thing that I've gotten out of doing these little orphan songs is she does play. Like, oh, you actually tried this. You haven't done this before. That's fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And this is, this is 2012. This is, it's a while ago. I said, this is kind of cute. It's laid back. It's not the same kind of anthemic lunacy they try together. Like, they went through a period of like every Pitbull and J-Lo song had to be an anthem. It had to be screaming about getting on the floor and doing whatever, and had to have giant horns going, and it was all too much.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just like nice, like, and they actually sound suited to each other on this. Whereas I thought the other one, they sounded like they were singing different songs, like they were doing two different performances that did not go together. Whereas this sounds like they're actually. He's not really grating and annoying. Like, it's like he knows the vibe of this song and he's kind of fitting into it, as opposed to just being shouty Pitbull and trying to get the vibe to come up to him. And I think her voice is working in this relaxed mode.
I
kind of thought it was nice.
Yes. Sometimes I think where
she's nice.
I know, she's nice. I think that's where sometimes she stuffs up, is the tone in certain songs doesn't work, and no one's told her. And they're like, and then you hear her in other things. You go, yes, this is fun. I would listen to this album.
Yeah, I think Corey Rooney was giving her some bad advice for a very long time, I suspect.
Yes, yeah. And she's got a bit of Stocklow syndrome herself.
Yes.
From that.
She thinks she sounds good. No matter what. So how much do you think she sang? Mid-low, high-low, low.
I've gone for a mid-low. I think she's mostly there, but there's maybe a couple of other voices just sitting in to help her out on some of the smooth moments, but not to the point that it's jarring.
Yeah, I was mid-low too. I think there's a lot of processing as well. Like, like her tones aren't getting out of control because they're not allowed to.
I won't do it.
And are you a pro low or no low?
I've gone for a very light pro.
I love how light your pros are getting.
I think because I know that it's not the best song. I know it's not the best song ever, but for a Jen Pitbull song, I actually kind of enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, here's something I don't think I've ever said about a Jen Pitbull song. Or I was a hard or.
We love it.
Hard and fast or. I was like, this is great. This is fun. Well, that brings us to the end of the album. So we have to look and see how we feel about the album overall, even though it's one we've made up ourselves.
Yes, and now we have to remember it. Let's have a little look. See, I think I have mixed feelings about it because I think that the actual Spanish album she put out, we were lacking some of what's here.
Yes. Yeah, it was all a bit the same.
Yes. We're lacking some of the fun, the lightness. There was a lot of balance. But then I'd argue that the same thing is happening, or the opposite thing is happening here, where at least, like, I don't know, I feel like some of the songs, although there are a lot of them, so if you trimmed it down, you'd probably be okay. But there are a lot that are a bit sameish, so I almost feel like if you merged the two, grab a couple of the good ballads from that album, as well as Que Siste, if you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember Que Siste.
And the Mark Anthony duet, mixed in with some of these. Yeah. You'd have a fun 10, 12 track Spanish Jen album with a couple of features and be like, oh, that works for me. So nothing super groundbreaking. I did enjoy, when, you mentioned that there was an album sort of coming and then it didn't. When I heard the songs and I was like, oh yeah, like El Anillo, is it, how did you say? El Anillo por Cuando, that one. That one kind of fitted well with, the De Niro and Medicine songs that she'd put out. I was like, that could have been a fun moment. So I think probably my overall feeling is it's very light on, but at least it's fun and you can tap your feet, which we didn't get on the last.
No, there was like one foot tapping song. Was that the one where she set the car on fire? I think it's a pity she abandoned that album because. There might have been something good in like the slower and more melodic tracks, but instead she only put out the frantic ones and then bailed on it. So it's hard to say because all we've got are these handful of frantic songs. Like even though she's wandering around a castle in a crown,
that's so great.
Oh my God, frantic. It's like give me the ring, give me the ring, give me the ring. Which sounds like how she is in her everyday life. Give me the ring. I want to get married again. But the worst thing is, and you said this, which is so interesting. I said a lot of this stuff was pretty samey, and there is just it just becomes kind of, you're like, just because no one bought that single last time doesn't mean if you put it out with a different name and a vaguely different beat, people will buy it again. Like,
and I
doing
think
the
that's
same
the issue.
Thing.
With the singles market is everyone's trying to get singles. And an album probably would have had a bit more nuance to it. And like you said, we're kind of bombarded with the hectic. There's so much people.
Yes, so much people.
But you know what? Like her voice, even at its worst on these tracks, is miles ahead of what it was. Like, it's like we were saying before, like it's almost not sad, but it's a shame that she's not getting some of those great early songs with her new.
I know. When we went back to old Jen, when we did that terrible song from the movie Enough, I was like, oh, her.
Yes,
I remember her.
Yeah.
I remember her. And
also finding out like those chart positions that you've mentioned about some of these songs helps make sense of how she's continuing to put out so many songs, because obviously somewhere along the line they are paying for themselves, because you know, in our charts they're not really. You know, you wouldn't be able to, but it's like, oh, they are hitting somewhere. Okay,
they're like, someone's buying them somewhere. Like, they're probably not even releasing them here.
Probably
the tragedy, because they just stick them straight onto Spotify and go, oh, look, if it makes $1,
someone will have it.
$1.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite song? Is there anything in this collection that you would go, yeah, I love it?
I did enjoy, was it Cambia El Paso? I don't know how to say it. I like that one. And I do quite enjoy El Niño, but I think it's because I always think of the Super Bowl when I hear that, because she played a snippet of it. So that part's always quite fun. So yeah, I'd probably say one of those two, or Ni Tu Ni Yo, which was the best of those kind of the same songs, if that makes sense. Yeah. What about you?
Weirdly, and I don't know if I'm allowed to choose it because it's a bonus, but I probably would say Drinks for You, ladies' anthem.
Sure. I mean, at least it's different. I get it.
Yeah, it was fun. Like, it was like, because they were all so samey, it's like, well, if I choose one of those, then aren't I choosing all of them?
Yeah, that's true. I think for me, I think of it as like, I'm going to choose that same one so I can never have to worry about the others. And then in amongst other songs, it'll sound like a different thing.
Yeah. And weirdly, like, I think, you know, I would choose Kizas, Kizas, Kizas over a lot of those samey ones, which is a weird thing to say, even though it was quite dull. Yeah. It was pleasingly dull.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have a least favorite song? A song that you just like, nah, never want to hear that
I think it's between Te Guste, and that's with Bad Bunny, and Physical with Enrique. I think both of those can go.
Yeah, Physical is quite bad. My least favorite is Te Bote.
Like, okay, that's the really long one.
So long. And then, like, she's gone after 2 minutes, and
that was really random.
A whole bunch of mansplaining, and I didn't enjoy that at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
So weirdly, my least favorite was the least Jen.
Weird.
That is strange. Like, I'm starting to pro it up. What's going on? And do I know her? Are you pro low or no low on this collection of songs overall? I'm not going to call it an album.
No. This is a harder one than usual.
Yeah.
Because I feel like normally you have, pretty clear direction of like, even if it is an or.
Yeah.
There's parts of this, I think because it is so bitsy, I think what I could say is I think I could make a light pro-low, 8 to 10 track, even an EP maybe, out of it. But there is a lot of filler. So I guess it's the or.
So much filler and so many not, just weirdos. That like, you're like, why are you doing a song with this idiot?
Yeah. And then just randomly Andrea Bocelli.
Yeah, of all people.
Right. Yeah. I never thought that would happen.
I'm a huge no-low. Because I just felt like there was no, like, again, it was like that when we did that collection of songs and she was trying to glom onto anyone vaguely, big. This felt like, come on, everyone, help me bolster my career. And it's like, no, Jen, just be
also, it felt the opposite as well. Like, it also felt a bit like they're like, oh, we'll get Jen on.
Oh, there was a lot of that.
Knows her. Yeah.
We might get into the charts.
Yeah. I don't hate that she's a bit more loyal than maybe I'd expected.
Yeah.
like in terms of, you know, working with certain people and returning favors and that. I maybe wouldn't have expected that going into this journey, which we have nearly finished, but also this would have been the end, but isn't. I know. Because she keeps releasing shit.
New music. But yeah, look, the Game of Thrones video, amazing. I loved it.
Oh, iconic. I'm obsessed with
has
Queen
a great
Jen.
video. But that was the other thing I think was really disappointing was the videos looked incredible, but they were dull. Like, I'm like, I think the videos are starting to give me that vibe of like, these songs are meant to be fun and the videos are meant to be fun.
Yeah,
but they're not actually fun.
I think if we watch all of her videos, especially the latter half of her career, if we watch them all on silent and then we just made up dialogue,
that would be so good.
It could be really fun.
Yeah.
Like all of those Marry Me videos were quite, you know, luxe.
Yeah.
And the one where she's, you know, walking Cardi B around the house and stuff, I was like, that was fun. We'll just make it up as if it's a little Jen preview trailer.
I get the impression her alleged movie is entirely like that.
Yeah, I think so. That was glued together. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You're going to have to fabnopsize that. That's going to be fun for you.
The whole film, Jesus. The whole film. Are you? Have you come up with a new name for the album? Did you?
Oh, I didn't for this one. Have you got one?
I do. Okay. And it's nada para mí, which means nothing to me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to steal that, but I'm going to add 2 on the end because that's what apparently you do. And maybe I'll just make it a bit more Spanglish than your one. Like I'll just slightly remix it. So it's
you put an E really. Instead of the I in me.
Yeah.
Not a part of me.
Perfect.
Not a part of me too. All right. Well, let's head on to the other side and go home.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Just walk away.
Walk away.
You tacky regular bitch.
Regular.
Get the fuck right out of my face.
Regular bitch. All right, we are almost home. We're finally out of the Regularverse. Not to return next week, please. Please say we're not returning. Say yes.
No. Well, this is what's scary at the moment is that normally I'd say we're going to Mariah's World next week, and that's so exciting.
Great. Some great
vocals,
some amazing singing, some beautiful camp glitteriness.
Yeah,
and what have we
got? Beautiful gowns.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm going to say the same sentence, but with a different skew, which is, we're going to Mariah's World.
Although,
episode 3.
You know what I am excited about going to Mariah's World?
What's
that? People keep turning up to her Vegas shows. So I'm sure the Mimi Moments will be full of fun guest appearances.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, I assume so.
Because I don't
know at this moment. I haven't Googled, but yes, let's say.
You'll find out.
But that's true. I feel like I saw someone showed up, but then I immediately forgot who, because then standing next to Mariah.
Exactly.
So who remembers anyone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No one's going to remember anyone standing next to Mariah.
No. All right. Prepare yourselves for part 3 of Mariah's World next week.
I hope
you're gonna
Molly's
need it.
okay.
I don't think Molly's okay in any sense of the word.
The baby still on the bus? What's going on in Mariah's World? I don't remember. I think.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, Lamely.
Bye.